Alvin Edwards, Coach, we start with you. Get some thoughts on tonight's game.
First off, obviously, commend Coach Ware in New Mexico for the job they did tonight. Obviously, wish them good luck going forward. Thought it was a hard-fought game. Thought both teams came out and played with extreme energy. Both teams had some highs and lows throughout the game. At the end of the day, one team has to win, one team has to lose. We end up coming out on the wrong end of it, but love our guys, and I thought they gave it all they had.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for our student athletes?
Guys, I know the last time you played New Mexico, they kind of dictated the style just with it being, really up-tempo, high-scoring game. It seemed like this time around you guys did a little bit better job of keeping the pace of play, where you would want it. Do you feel like, that was the case, that you guys maybe played a little bit more your style tonight?
Yeah, definitely. That was more of our game plan, was to smartly attack. I think we turned it over a little too much still, but I think we did a better job, like you said, attacking them smart, knowing when to pull it out and when not to.
Hayden, with you and JJ, two leading scorers, I know they kind of held you in check as far as shooting the ball. Did they attack you differently, or what did they do to kind of prevent you and JJ from really shooting the ball well tonight?
Their whole team is all about pressure and no easy catches, and we weren't getting clean looks off, and they kind of just rushed us a little bit. So.
Hayden, last night, Coach felt like you maybe tried to do a little too much, tried to force some shots that weren't there. Do you feel like maybe later in the second half that happened kind of again?
I have no comment on that one.
I can say it for you. No, we want him to take those shots, whether they're going in or not. He's taking those shots all year, and we're confident in him to take those shots. A lot of those shots he normally makes, it just wasn't falling tonight.
Al, I know last time you guys played them, you were sick and not playing a whole lot. How tough was that one for you to watch as pretty defensive guy and getting out there? Just how eager were you to kind of get another shot at this team?
I was just very eager. Like you said, last game, I was dealing with some sickness, and just to have to sit there and just watch that score in the hundreds for both teams, it kind of hurt a little bit. And this time, I just wanted to make sure I was just try to go out there and just be more effective. Wasn't that great in the first half. Didn't contribute to any rebounding. Was able to pick it up a little bit in the second half, but that first half it dictates a lot. So it did hurt.
I think you had 5 dunks tonight just on the offensive end. Was it, just the way they were playing you guys, or what worked for you?
Coach always says all year, just attack. I can create a lot of mismatches with what I can do, so I was just taking what the defense was giving me and just making sure I was trying to cut constantly, and my teammates were just hitting me in great positions, and then I just had an attack mentality, and sometimes just that win or go home, I can do it to you.
21 season, a lot of good things, but it doesn't look like there will be postseason. It's not long after this game, but can you put into words what this season's been like for you guys as seniors and what you guys were able to accomplish?
It's been a crazy year, and not even just this year, just the time spent here at Wyoming with these guys. It really became a brotherhood and something that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. These guys meant a lot to myself, and me and myself and H, I don't know how many college coaches looked at us and thought we could become what we were today, but this man to our right really just took a chance on us, believed in us, and gave us the keys and told us, go out there and do what you do best. And we just got to thank him so much for that, and I really cherish that.
Guys, is this kind of a tough matchup for you guys? Because I know you like to play assertive and up-tempo, but you have to kind of rein that in a little bit, not play it there up-tempo. Is it tough to find that balance between being assertive but not kind of hectic out there?
Yeah, a little bit. Like you said before, or asked before, I think we did a better job this game, and I think this game it kind of came down to more on the defensive end, doing what we needed to do, or we didn't get done what we needed to do on the defensive end, obviously, tonight. But I think we did a lot better job at controlling the pace this game.
Over here.
What makes New Mexico so effective at what they do? Coach, players, What do they do that works?
They just have a deep rotation. They bring a lot of guys in, and with that pressure, you kind of have to. The next sub coming in brings that energy, brings that same pressure. So they just have a lot of guys that can come in and do that same thing. So you just have to prepare for that and just play your game and try not to let them speed you up. I think this game we were a little bit better in the sense of turnovers. I think before we might have had like 20 or something, but this time I think we took care of it a little bit better. It was just really that rebounding, and when we really needed to stop, that really hurt us.
Hayden, you've been one of Wyoming's biggest contributors for multiple years now. When you look back on your career, what are you going to think about first?
I'm just very thankful, like Al said, that I had the opportunity to play here. So I went junior college route, and then they took a chance on me. So just that I was even able to play and step on the court and put on the Wyoming jersey, just very thankful.
What does it feel like to look in the stands and see that gold and brown filling the lower arena? You guys kind of had more fans there than just about anybody.
It means a lot. It really felt like a home game, really for both teams. I think the fans really showed out for each team, but that brown and gold really means a lot. And when you have Wyoming across your chest, it's just a sense of pride, and all the fans just let us feel that. And unfortunately, we're on the wrong end of it tonight, but again, we just thank them all for coming out and supporting us throughout the season.
I know before this tournament, Coach said he felt like maybe getting to the title game might be what you guys needed resume-wise to get to the NIT. Is that kind of what you guys, went in maybe mentality-wise needing to accomplish this tournament?
Yeah, even without, say we would have won more games or anything like that, our goal is always just to compete for championships. That's the culture that we try to build here. Just compete for championships each and every year, and that's all we talk about. So we definitely had that on our mind. Just go out there and just compete and play our hardest and just give ourselves a chance. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but that's just how it goes sometimes, as winner and a loser.
Okay, I'm going to dismiss the student athletes at this time. Thank you, guys. Questions for the coach?
Coach, you were able to get it, I think it was from three a couple times down the stretch, and I think the last 2-3 minutes you guys weren't able to get a basket. So was it just good defense on their part, just shots not falling? Any observations there?
Probably missed opportunities. I think when we cut it to three, we were at the free throw line. I think it might have been a front end of a one-on-one. Came down, got another stop, I think, and then took a rush three. So, I mean, we had our chances to put ourselves in position to win the basketball game. We just didn't overcome that hump, so to speak, and put ourselves in position to close out the game. But, yeah, you have to give them credit for staying the course with their game plan as well.
Coach, like HG said, the pace was maybe a little more what you guys wanted tonight. Is it tough, sometimes to have a loss where it seemed like you guys did do some good things tonight, but is it tough to take when you do that and it still doesn't, push you over that hump?
No, I mean, like I told him after the game, this would be like any other game. We go back and watch film, and we would say, well, if we did this better, then we would be in a better situation. In the first half, they did a tremendous job on the offensive glass. I think they had 10 at halftime. We had 9 total. We did a better job in the second half rebounding the basketball. But you go in with a game plan and you go out there to execute it to the best of your ability. And whether you win or lose, you just got to stay committed to it. And I thought we did that.
Coach, I know that Coach Weir said that with Justin, he put like 3 guys on him during times. I know he struggled shooting the ball, and so today, anything you noticed there? Anything they do anything against Justin defensively? What about Hayden's shooting?
No, I mean, what I think they do, obviously, when you don't have the ball, make it tough to catch it. And like I told our guys, you got to want the basketball. You're not just going to cut and get open. And I thought with JJ, even when he broke to get the basketball, like any other player, when you don't see it go in a few times, you know, your mojo ain't the same, obviously like it was yesterday. And I thought, you know, he was trying to play too much east-west rather than north-south after taking on a ball screen, which they switched. But, you know, still a really good player, just didn't have a great night.
I know the first game you talked about wanting to go in with the focus of, you know, those first 4 minutes being strong, and, you know, tonight they jump out to a pretty quick 13-point lead. Just what was different early tonight?
Offensive rebounds. Thought the offensive rebound hurt us. Even within calling a timeout early, just to get our guys back refocused. It was about being on the glass. And we found a way to obviously cut it going into halftime. And, you know, Cody came out of the half and I think hit a big three to cut it to either 2 or 1. So, again, you know, we had our opportunities.
I guess if this is, you know, the end of the season for you guys with this big senior class, just, you know, what do you feel like is the impact that they've had on this program?
Well, you know, like I told the underclassmen in there, they should go around and thank those 4 guys for what they've done for this program. H.L., Lou, and Alex has done a lot in the sense of helping this program and helping the last 2 years with me as a head coach and our coach and what we're trying to do going forward. Those guys have made a big impression on it. And, you know, as we go forward, you know, guys coming into the program and guys that are returning, you know, can look back on what these 2 teams, these past 2 teams have done.
Coach, I know there'll be time for reflection probably later, but, you know, probably won't be postseason for this team. You mentioned no CBI, so how would you kind of assess the way this season went and what the future looks like for the program?
Well, you know, what I always try to do within even a game, I always try to find a jewel in what happened over the season. And like I told those guys, you know, in the past 16 years, there's only been 2 teams that have competed in conference play and came out with more wins than losses. And that's this team and the team that won it in 15. So, you know, when you look at the tradition of the program over the last 16 years, you're saying you are one of those 2 teams. I think that's a lot to speak about because it is a tough conference, top to bottom. And then, you know, putting yourself in position to win 20 games with one of the toughest schedules that we've had in the last 16 years. But all that was planned. And to me, you know, you put your best foot forward. And I thought our guys did a great job. It just didn't turn out the way we would like it to turn out.
Alan, part of what they're trying to do, both offensively and defensively, is just sort of get you guys in a frantic, almost sometimes panic kind of mode. You call 2 timeouts early, 1 in 3 minutes, and you score right out of the timeout. Allen gets a dunk. You call another timeout after 9 minutes, and Allen dunk after the timeout. After halftime, you guys are executing. When they were calmed down and you were setting things up, it seemed like they were executing, but as longer and longer between stoppages and play, the turnovers seemed to start happening. Is that something UNM's doing, or is that sort of maybe just some mental lapses on your team's part tonight?
Well, I mean, you got to give them credit for the style of play, you know, at the end of the day, because that's, you know, what they do. To be honest with you, if I was to look at the stat sheet without playing, I would have probably said we ended up losing the game because there was only 14 fouls called. But, you know, they are a team that play aggressively, that they ain't going to call them all. And yes, I can complain as much as I want to the officials about reaching, grabbing, but really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So my thing was, care less about whether they call them, have our guys be able to fight through and play the game of basketball and execute. But like you said, even within going back and forward, you can easily get caught up in what they're trying to do. When we were at our best is when we was poised and just played confidently rather than, you know, what I mean by that, like after H missed the free throws to cut it to maybe 1, we get another stop, we come down, the ball is bouncing around, it bounces to JJ, it dribbles, and he picks it up and shoots a 3. Like that to me is you're playing their way rather than picking that up and saying, okay, get my guys into something or move the basketball so we can get something better. So you can get caught up in that style of play.